Okay, so some of the major themes or conclusions that I discovered in the observational series are as follows. The first one was stress and anxiety. This showed up a lot when I would ask my students questions, and particularly the ones you see here on the left side of the screen are from the case study that was about assessment. And when students hear the word assessment, that kind of causes some stress and anxiety because they know that it's going to be important and it's a big portion of their grade. On the right side, one of the things for motivation that we had to do, one of the things that I found interesting was a podcast. And a section of that podcast focused on what stress does to the body. And I thought that was interesting. But again, this is just one of the major themes that I noticed within my writing within this series. The next one is knowing students' interests. So on the left, this is from the field experience talking to other teachers about motivation. One of the teachers said, I get to know my students or each kid and their interests. And in week 2, we had the student point of view assignment. And again, this is a big component of my teaching philosophy is knowing students personally. I just think that's important. You've got to know them on a personal level. They respond better when you do. They respond better when you have a relationship with them and they can feel more comfortable in your classroom. The last thing at the bottom, this is from one of the case studies. By journaling and reflecting and asking students questions, I'm getting a better understanding of their interests, and it just kind of hit me that I needed to do this more often. I need to ask my students what their thoughts are, ask them what they're thinking more often to know their interests. The next one is real world application, kind of goes along with students' interests. So the first section here is from talking to another teacher, and he said that the biggest thing that helps him and helps his students be successful is helping them see the real relevance of his class and how it impacts their life. And when we were talking about motivation in our collaborative paper, this topic came up again. You got to make your content relevant and meaningful to students. And that's been with me for a long time, since before I was actually teaching. And then the last thing, call me crazy, I like to think about, what is the goal? What is our end goal? And as a high school teacher, the end goal is to graduate high school, for our students to graduate high school. And this came up a couple of times in my writing. Those are just a few of the major themes that came up in this observational series.